and meet me Wednesday. And
Exactly.
so,
Excuse me. I said
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. And so I watched the video, and I was at school. I wear many hats. I'm an ordained minister. I'm a doctor of natural medicine. I do a lot of different holistic techniques. I resigned from the Chicago Board of Education in 1996, where I had been teaching since like the 70s. And then I went back into the system working with youth who have issues with staying in the mainstream. We call them alternative schools. And so they have a lot of behavior issues. So I'm an academic advisor and behavior advisor for the school. And so I haven't been really doing a lot of client-based stuff in maybe about a year, because I really started focusing on these young people, 17 to 21, to get them educated, get them a high school diploma. So when he said, look at this video, I was at school and I'm at my desk and I'm thinking, oh, okay, so when Damon started talking, I was thinking, oh, another program. I have different arms and products, because when people come, when they do come, I advise them to do this, get some oils, get this and that to kind of help their bodies get balanced. So right in the middle of him dissecting this commercial pad, I wasn't sure, just like he said, when he saw it, he wasn't sure where the presenter was going. But he started talking about the elements of that pad. And when he got to the point where he talked about the dye, the strip that has the dye, and when the moisture hits it, the dye is released. I kind of was like a little shaken, but not a whole lot, because I know that I want to be talking to young women. I'm beyond the cycle period, but I thought about women who are beyond that period that may have bladder issues and they use pads for bladder control. So I'm thinking about younger women. I'm not that concerned about dye, because they have tattoos everywhere. So dye wouldn't kind of scare them or charge them to think that they need to do something different. But when he mentioned that the wood fibers, the paper, the bleached paper, the recycled newspaper that's locked into the commercial pad, that once moisture hits it, dioxin is released, I slammed my hand on the desk and hollered out loud, to the point one of the teachers from the other room came to see if maybe one of the kids had jumped on me or I had jumped on them. Because they don't bother me, I bother them. It's like, I'm the mom, not you, kind of thing. And so she said, are you okay? And I said, sort of, but I'm a little shaken, because I'm finding out that something that we use on a monthly basis could be potentially poisoning the most sacred area of a female's body. And that's her womb, that's her ovaries, her bloodstream, which carries toxins everywhere and lands possibly in the breast, because it's a lot of fatty tissue and toxins like to hide where there's excessive fat. I was floored that we have been buying such a product. So when he gave the solution, because I'm always, okay, tell me the problem, but also tell me the solution. And when he talked about the newer pad that's been designed by out of the country, because like Dr. Lewis said, they don't allow us to know firsthand that there are some things that could really help us on a natural basis that can keep our bodies clean and healthy and all of that. That particular product had now been introduced to the U.S. And when he talked about the elements of that product, everything in there is natural, including the fact that the absorption processes, he saw where the cotton, pure 100% cotton, absorbs the moisture. And then this negative ion he talked about comes from the green algae strip. Well, I'm a holistic practitioner. I know what green algae does. It releases chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a toner. Chlorophyll helps to make better red blood cells in your body. But at the same time, the negative ions, because I teach science, biology, and all of that. And so I know that the release of negative ions, which also comes when you have fresh rain that hits the atmosphere, and you get this fresh feeling, or you go to a spring and you buy the water, and just like he said, it cleans and clears the air. You feel really like fresh and happy. Negative ions, when released in your body, is going to act as a free radical killer, or antioxidant as they call them, which is going to grab hold to toxins and pull them out of the system. Well, immediately I thought that this is going to be refreshing for the body, but at the same time, because we have our intestines is here, and then the womb is porous, and so are the intestines. The negative ions reach the intestines, and 90% of serotonin. Anybody know what serotonin is?
Heard of it.
Hmm?
Heard of it. I can't.
Serotonin is a hormone that is generated in your intestines and also in the brain, and it's the happy molecule. It makes people feel good. That's why when you exercise, serotonin is released, and so is dopamine, and it makes you feel good. That's why young people think they need dope because they make them feel good. No, just exercise and get the dopamine. So you don't need dope. Your body makes a sort of dope, okay? And the serotonin is this happy molecule, so it makes you have a positive vibration. So that's like key for when we're on that flow and you have the constricting of the arteries, the women have the cramps. Well, that relaxes the arteries and let the blood flow like it should, and no more cramps. So there's I think when I was looking on YouTube, they showed someone who actually had used the pad, had a migraine headache and a real bad flow, and within an hour, the headache was gone, and so was her cramps, and the flow was lessened. So, can you imagine that you get a customer base of people who had a bad flow, cramps, and other things that goes with it? If anybody ever remember, if none of you are in that period at that time, you can go back to when you were really not comfortable, and you give this to a lady who's having those issues, and they get relieved. You think she's not going to tell her friend and her friend's friend and all of that? It will explode to the point where it would be not unimaginable to see $88,000 every other week coming in, because somebody's getting that money right now in the local stores with a bad product, a product that's causing us harm. And it takes a long time before a cancerous cell shows up. Doesn't mean that it's not there, it just takes for a long time. So say if I'm 15, I started my cycle, and then at 30, all of a sudden I got cervical cancer, ovarian, and I'm trying to figure out why, what? I haven't been doing a whole lot to my body where I'm having this problem. She's been using a pad that's been creating this kind of poison in her body. So we're like puzzled when breast cancer shows up, when cysts on the ovary show up, or damage to the womb, and then they talk about have a partial hysterectomy or a total hysterectomy, and you can't figure out why, because all you're doing is wearing a pad on the cycle. Unbelievable. So when you start to think about that, this is more than just the finances. This is a mission that we need to be on to work with the female, and the fact that the moisture is holding this bacteria. And so he jokingly said that it affects a man because he possibly has to wait longer after the cycle and all of that. I know that a lot of times, if bacteria is present and you haven't done anything to get rid of it, whether I'm on a cycle or not, if I'm having a relationship with my mate and that bacteria is harboring in my body, it is going to pass on to him. So how does it show up in him? Possibly prostate issues, bad circulation in that one tube that urine, blood, and semen flows through. So then now he's got an issue and can't figure out why. So you see how serious this is and what the links are, that we really need to be more conscious of what's going on, that we have something available like that. It is really serious. This room needs to be loaded. Your computer should be on all day. I spent the day home today because I had some dental work done yesterday. And so I wanted to just kind of rest. I didn't want to have to be fussing at no children and, have my gums flapping and my mouth was sore. So I stayed home. But guess what I was doing? I was texting someone. I was on the computer signing up people because, first of all, it's no out of pocket right now. But do you line them all up, and then when they talk about how you get the product, you can market the product, or you need to use the product if you're in that age range where you need to use the product, or you got daughters, granddaughters, sisters, cousins, whatever that is, a female that you will see the money float up to us, and it's going to be on. We will not be able to probably get people in the system by April. It's going to be so jam-packed. It might take you to a May to get them in. Because it's going to hit like that. I've seen this happen before, but it wasn't with something that just can be utilized every single month. So I think we had the conversation with Aunt Virginia's partner, and she was from the country that they manufactured those products.
Okay.
And she gave me a testimony and said that she says it is a phenomenal product, but because they wouldn't allow them to market it here at the time, she couldn't see, really telling a lot of people, but she had private clients that was using it, and they get excellent results. And because the strip is so vital to getting rid of pain, she used the strip itself on her client that had shingles and got rid of the pain from shingles. Can you imagine? So you can be kind of versatile with the product because it gets the negative ions that are released in the green algae strip, gets rid of pain. So I'm just been on the phone, and I don't text a lot, but I've been texting lately. I'm learning, I'm getting the hang of it, and talking to people and putting them in the system because we really need to make this a top priority to get people saved from the damage that's being done quietly, subtly.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Go ahead.